It's all for the plot.
Did you crack that open on time?
Some would say.
That's hard.
I aim for excellence. Welcome back, everybody, to the For the Plot podcast. This is episode 3. We are your hosts. I am Manny Rodriguez.
I'm Love Teddy, and just so everybody knows, JB has a seat this time.
Yeah, and he lotions his hands. Thank you, sir.
For the right reason.
The PG reasons. Once again, we're here live at Cinnamon Sound Studios, taking care of us again. Thank you guys for checking in. And once again,
thank you, Rads.
Yeah, thank you, Rads. Thank you again for the love on the last 2 episodes and all the clips and stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see our work kind of panning out and people tuning in and showing us love and continuing to check in and sending us songs and their small businesses.
It's super cool to see you guys show support, and I'm always a big fan of like slow motion is better than no motion. So
100%.
Just keep sharing it, keep showing the love. So
Yeah, it's much appreciated, and we see it, and you guys haven't stopped, so thank you so much, at least from the bottom of my heart. I know Teddy feels the same way.
Yeah, my mom is very proud of me.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's a cool feeling to see your hard work pay off, even if it's on a small scale. Mm-hmm. But today we have an awesome guest, someone I truly love, near and dear to my heart, one of my lifelong friends, Ariana Stone.
Woo!
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for being here, Queen.
I know. Oh, that's why I texted you the other day. I'm like, we've been friends for almost 2 decades.
Can I be on the show?
And I was like,
When do I get my ticket on the show?
2 decades is crazy.
Yeah. I've known Ariana since I was probably 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you come to GC? I think I was in 7th grade.
I was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was 11.
Yep.
Where'd you go with us?
Our Lady of Good Counsel on the east side of Aurora.
Oh, you were a
Yeah.
Catholic school kid.
Yeah, so she wasn't.
I wasn't.
She wasn't.
And then
Oh,
my
you
mom's
weren't.
like, you're not going to go to Waldo, so we're going to go private school.
No shots at Waldo or anyone that went there.
Nope.
No, so just a little bit about me. I went to all GC from the time I was 4 until I left 8th grade, and I was about 13, 14. Mm-hmm. So from the time I was 4 until 7th grade, I knew the same people. My graduating class had 16 kids, so like my friends today are still my friends since I was 4.
Whoa, you said 16?
16 kids in my 8th grade class. I think the most one of my classes had, 3rd grade, we had like 30 something kids.
8th grade, 16 graduating classes.
Yeah, and the craziest part is we had 4 boys and 12 girls. So
the dating pool is crazy.
there wasn't no pool. The other thing is these 16 kids had been to school together since they were 4. So by the time we were graduating, it was like those kids are my family for real.
That's fire.
So I remember the day I met Ariana, because after like 3rd grade, you don't get any more new students. And that's why we had 16 in 8th grade. So
And then there was
This is
me.
in Aurora?
This is in Aurora. It's a Catholic school though. It's a small Catholic school on the east side of Aurora.
No. I know you guys keep saying it's a Catholic school, but like 16
Yeah.
is very small.
I think mine maybe had, like, 20
class, I
something.
can guarantee you is way bigger than 16.
Yeah, but JCA was high school.
Oh,
You know what
we're
I'm saying?
talking about middle school.
Yeah, but even my
Yeah, it was
high
like
school,
grade school to middle school, yeah.
Okay.
my high school, I only had 500 kids total, and my graduating class only had 110 or something like that. So,
Same.
yeah. But I went to all boys school, and she went to all girls school.
My
So that,
graduating
so we
class
went-
was like 800.
yeah. But you
Yeah, we went to
public
the brother-sister
school.
brother-sister school.
Brother-sister school.
Oh,
Catholic
yeah.
school,
Okay,
and it's
okay,
one
okay,
gender,
okay.
so that eliminates
I went to Plainfield.
half
so
the
all the country kids went there.
country kids.
But which playing field?
Yeah, which Playfield did you go
Plainfield
to?
East.
Oh, okay.
So we're
The
technically
ghetto.
Bolingbrook.
Is it?
Yeah, we're technically Bolingbrook.
Oh, nice.
Shout out my Bengals. You know what I'm saying?
That's the last shout out y'all gonna get. No, but yeah, so I remember walking up. It's got to be obviously the first day of school, and we always sat outside the door and wait for your teacher to come get you. And Ariana was there, and the reason it even matters is because she already knew like Danielle and Bernie and them.
Yep.
So my friends that are like my core best friends ever.
Yeah.
She was hanging out with them. I'm like, oh, there's a new person. I'm like, oh, she either just met them or whatever. They're all hanging out. And they're like, oh, no, this is Ariana. I'm like, oh. So literally in that moment, which we would have invited you in anyways, but in that moment, she was just part of the crew.
Yeah, that's fine.
But she was a year younger than us. And then
Yeah.
since then, it's just been nonstop. So
Was that difficult being a year younger than them? The younger homies in like high school are always like the ones.
High
kinda
school
like,
was
Yeah, how
harder.
was that for you? Yeah.
The high school was definitely harder than middle school, because like when you guys were seniors and I was juniors, like I was still
Yeah.
friends with people in my class.
Yeah.
But it's definitely different because I'm like,
But did you You knew people in your class at GC
Oh, yeah.
when you got there, though, right?
JV, quit
Well,
fucking around.
Oh, you
Now
did?
that, no, now I'm thinking about it. I don't think so.
Oh, I thought you did.
I can't. No, not off the top of my head. Unless there was someone that I did. If I'm sorry, if you're like Ariana, we fucking went to school together. Like what the
I've
hell?
been knowing you, yeah.
I'm so sorry, but no, not that I can think of. Maybe Carly Whittington.
That's a name I've ever heard in years.
Damn,
know.
y'all giving crazy shout outs.
Somehow this is gonna get back to
How many
her.
people did you have in
Crazy
8th grade? How many
shout-outs
people did you have in
right
your 8th grade class at GC?
Like maybe 22.
Yeah, so
Maybe.
it's everybody.
There's no way this is an Aurora
Yep.
school.
Yeah, I mean,
Private school, but we had
Private school's a dying breed in
think of how
Aurora.
many
He's telling me
private
only 22 people could afford a private school in Aurora?
on the east side.
Well, because you did. You had West Side.
Yeah, you had West Side school.
You
I mean,
had a bunch of different.
think about it this
I
way.
forgot Aurora's like low key the city. My fault.
So
My fault. I
west
learned that
side
first
of the
episode.
city, you have a school like Holy Angels, and they have an A, B, C team for their schools, and then you have a school like GC.
ABC. We had A and B.
That's how many kids they had. So it's like it depends on where you're at.
Wait,
and
can
like,
we go back to your basketball team? Didn't you guys have to combine with like 3 schools because you guys
no,
only had 4
so
people?
That's the thing. That's where I was getting
Was
at.
Manny on it?
Hell yeah.
He was on the team?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's trash. He's trash.
I think
think I noticed?
I think all 4 boys
You don't
played.
think I noticed?
Didn't all
Oh
4
my
boys
God.
play basketball?
Yeah. So there was only 4 of us. We were at St. Pete's too.
St. Pete's, that's what
Mike
it
was
was.
on my basketball team.
Y'all had
We
to
combined. There's 4 of us. We had to
You
come out
and
to the
Mikey
school.
was on the same team.
Yeah, we was
Them
trash.
niggas just 0 and 12.
Man, yeah.
The only saving grace. 'cause
Yeah,
when
we
you shout out
sucked.
somebody else.
Not
Was,
gonna lie.
Oh my
What'd you
Nick
say?
Vidmar was the other. Oh, another shout
Yeah,
out.
we had
was 'cause he was
one of the 4
he was
kids.
super tall.
He was like 6 foot in 8th grade.
Where'd he go?
Oswego?
I think so.
Yeah. He wasn't really athletic. Sorry, Nick. I love you, brother. He was just tall as shit, and he was big.
Yeah.
We
But
still lost.
Let's dive into
No.
We still
So
lost.
that's just more how I know Ariana.
Yeah.
But yeah, hold on, let me check the shed just to make sure I'm on track.
Are you on track?
So before we dive in, one of the things I wanted to say is we've been releasing good content and good episodes. We've been having a blast on here, but kind of want to stick true to what we said on episode 1 and let you guys know that this is definitely a safe space, place where we can all be vulnerable and talk about a lot of things. But the biggest thing is we don't have that niche. We don't have that overarching thing besides hinting on music and things because it means a lot to me and Teddy. But we wanted to have more of a serious conversation today, bring Ariana on and talk about things that really matter to us and things that she's involved in and things that affect us all personally. And we'll talk about that in a second, but and she was on the For the Homies segment last time. We talked about her clothing brand, and how it touches on mental health awareness. So that's going to be an overarching theme of this episode. So I hope if you're listening this long that you know that like we're going to get deep into it today, and we'll see how deep we get, but we wanted to have a true conversation today and talk about some real things that in other instances we might
I might
kind
cry.
of avoid
I might cry.
there might be some tears today, and that's a good thing. And I think hopefully we all grow from this, and maybe we
I think
can
I
get you
needed a
some
good cry this week.
You always need a good cry.
Yeah.
and I think it's awesome to see, obviously, the podcast grow, but to have you on here. But before we get into that, I wanted to, like I said last time, we're going to break up the for the homies
Yes, sir.
spotlights.
First one.
Yeah, so it's not
First one.
as
First
first one. This one's great. This is actually came in. This is one of Teddy's friends. And this is awesome because it's gonna be a great.
Shout out Luke.
Yeah, shout out Luke. Thank
Shout
you
out
for
Luke Reynolds.
and thank you for anyone who's thinking about it. If you're thinking about it, go ahead.
Fun fact about Luke is that he is actually my first producer.
Really?
Yeah, so like we made a whole mixtape in college in our dorm.
Was it dark in the studio?
No, it's called Good Morning Nightmares. It's way worse.
Tight.
But I remember we
beautiful.
recorded the whole thing and like we sold it on campus for like $10. Quick,
For real?
$100. Quick $100.
All 10 people.
All 10 people.
There you go.
Thank you for the beer.
Yeah, so Luke's my homie. I'm glad he's got this little spotlight right now.
That's awesome. This is going to be a great segue into what we're going to talk about. So Luke wrote in and he wanted to highlight his brand, and it's called It'll Buff.
Yep.
It'll Buff is a brand that he started in memory of one of his best friends. His friend was an Army veteran who did a few tours overseas. When his friend had come back, he had suffered from PTSD and mental health. Unfortunately, Luke lost his friend. He ended up taking his own life in 2019. They're saying it'll buff was something that they exchanged in their small group of friends. And what it meant essentially is don't worry about the shit you can't control. Yep. Life always works itself out. We only get one shot at this life, so don't waste it by stressing or overthinking things that don't matter. Do what makes you happy always. Everything else will fall into place the way it should. You lose your job, you get in an accident, you go through a breakup, etc. It'll buff. Get back on your feet and keep pushing. Life isn't over. You're here for a purpose. So go find that purpose. A little highlight about It'll Buff is they donate 7% of every sale to organizations focused around military, active, and veteran well-being and mental health. So thanks, Luke, for sending that spotlight in. You can find It'll Buff at ittlebuff.co on Instagram, which is ITLLBUFF.co. And one thing we're going to do moving forward is we're going to start adding in all the for the homies shout outs into our podcast episode descriptions. Yep. And we're going to try to work in posting podcasts.
Links to their stores.
Yeah, links to all that. And if we shouted you out before, we know it wasn't on there, but I'm going to go ahead and backtrack.
We'll rewind it.
I'll add that to all past episodes, so it'll be in all the notes.
We need sponsors.
Anyways. Yeah, exactly.
So you know what I'm saying?
Also,
look, I'll rock whatever.
Exactly.
What's up?
If anyone,
I don't need a bag.
Shameless plug. If anyone wants to send anything in and they want us to rock it on the episode,
I don't need a bag.
I'm a size extra large.
I'll promote whatever.
I'll promote whatever, and I want to show you guys love and thank you for the love. And if you're on the fence of whatever you're doing, you don't know if you want to send it in. You're like, I don't know if that makes that much sense, or is it going to be that worth it?
My biggest thing about the For the Homies is like, I know we're a small podcast, but these are new eyes that you're going to have on your product. So.
And even just for us, I didn't know It'll Buff ever existed, and now I know, and I'll definitely shop with them.
Luke's a good dude. So make sure you guys shop with It'll Buff. And one more time for Luke and It'll Buff. And let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, and on that note, we wanted to highlight Ariana and her efforts and talk about her brand. Like I said, it's a good segue because her brand highlights some of the same things that It'll Buff does.
Those beautiful sweatshirts.
Yeah, and if you see the sweatshirt, see the visuals, this is some of her products, or her merchandise, that is. So we'll get into it.
I like that one a lot.
And
I might have to talk to you about that one.
Yeah, I have that one. It's amazing. So my question for you, Ariana, is can you please just take us through her company, Limitless Momentum, which we highlighted last episode, and just, I guess, from the beginning, how it came about, what it means to you, and what your message is, and things like that. Whatever, as far as you want to take it, let's just talk about it.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I hate to say, I would say like an introduction to mental health, which is awful. But like my first, I guess, experience with mental health was through my career, so through work, and that took a toll on me. So like I never knew what actual anxiety felt like. Like you get anxious for a game, you get anxious for a test, whatever, and then I started to feel like actual like physical anxiety, and I'm like, what is this?
Just like normal day to day?
Yeah. Like I'd wake up, do my normal thing, and I'm like, why do I feel like I'm forgetting something? I feel like I have to go. Like it was like not like the total doom feeling. But like I'm missing something. But I felt it more like physically. And then I talked to Tara about it, my girlfriend, and she's like, that's anxiety. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It's
like,
weird.
I was like,
anxiety's weird for people that don't get it. Like, I won't say I don't get it, but like my girlfriend has very bad anxiety. Yeah. So it's like when you see them going through it, you're just like, man, what is that?
Yeah.
And then when I think when I felt it for the first time, I was just like, whoa.
Like, I was like, something's wrong. Like, something's major. Like,
Also, like, nothing's going wrong, but you're uncomfortable.
And same as you, Teddy. Like, it was, like, even Tara, she was like, oh, I'm feeling anxious about this. I'm like, oh, so it's like a nervous feeling. And then when I felt, like, actual anxiety, I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, this isn't just being nervous. Like, this is uncomfortable. And even just trying to get out of your head, you're like, all right, this will pass. This will, we felt this before. It'll keep going. But I'm like, I'm tired of feeling like this, because it was more of a constant feeling. And so I finally like went to the doctor, because I'm like, there's nothing that's like, you can do all the journaling and grounding and all these things, and they help, but I'm like, it's not helping.
Physically. So can I ask a question?
Sure.
Sorry to interject. Just in case anyone's out there suffering from this, or they've been pondering on this and they're like, I don't know if this is me, or if this I guess resonates with themselves. When did this all start, and about how long did it last before you were like, okay?
And do you remember like the exact feeling of anxiety? at all. Because mine
like the
was
first time I felt it?
Yeah, because mine was more like it feels like you can't breathe.
Mine isn't a tightness. I get tremors.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's weird.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, then it's not like violent shakes, but I'll like tremor.
Yeah.
Or I'll feel like I need to step outside.
Okay.
That's mine for sure. But no, not like super rapid heart beating, not whatever. Or like my stomach will get upset. Okay. That's usually mine. But for me, it was really like 2020. I think really just even with COVID and everything was pretty much kind of like when mine started.
You're kind of locked in the house and.
Yeah. And then like the summer of 2020. I went to the doctor because it was a consistent feeling, and I'm like, this isn't going away.
Yeah, so it was a late onset for you. But
yeah, like in life.
Yeah. Only because there's probably people out there listening. They're like, oh, dang, maybe that's something that I'm feeling. And I know sometimes for people it's like, well, I didn't feel it when I was 12, and I'm feeling it now. It'll go away.
It's difficult to identify.
Exactly.
Never felt.
Well, and I've said that too because I'm like, mine was an experience at work that just kind of snowballed into things. But like, you know me, like I was in a huge car accident at 18.
Yeah. Okay.
Like titanium rods in my tibia and my femur, broke all 3 bones in my right leg. Like had to basically learn to walk again. Yeah. And I'm like that. I was driving 3 weeks in with a crutch. I told my mom, I'm like, I want a McDonald's Coke, and I'm driving. I'm driving with a broken ass leg.
Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Hold up. Jeez,
that was a crazy time.
Well, that was.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That was a really crazy time.
Very, especially since I wasn't here for that.
No, because that was that's because
right when I left. I think I was probably like 6 months gone.
It was in because it was in June.
So that had to have been in 2012, right?
It was 2012, yeah.
Yeah. So so she was a year younger than us, and like
the younger homie.
Yeah. For people who don't know, like Ariana, like me and her, are, like super close. Like I would come home for Christmas break and stuff, and I'm at her house.
Did you hang on? Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Did you feel sad when you left, like for your younger homies? Because I know when I went to like college, I felt very bad for like my younger homies that I like was close with, and I just wanted them to be there.
I think because I missed you, but not.
Yeah, no, I won't say to answer your question. No, because Ariana was really my only like younger homie friend.
Okay.
So yeah, it was like sad, but like for me, I was like going off to college, so I was immersed. I think what was sad for me was when I found out that she got in that accident. I found out like a week later or at least 4 days later. I remember like waking up and I was like, I went on Facebook, and I don't really get on Facebook. After I got out of high school, I stopped going on Facebook. So I got on Facebook, and it got to the point where she's already like recovering in a hospital bed, and she's like giving updates. And I'm like,
and you just feel so
what
shitty,
the fuck? Ariana was I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, you feel so
but
shitty.
I just felt shitty because I was like, this major life event happened where we could have lost her. And now she's days in, and I'm just now texting her like, yo, are you okay? And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, bro? Like, this is one of my closest friends.
She hit you back.
Yeah. I'm like, dude. And I'm finding out on Facebook, but also, like, as this happening, she's not supposed to get on her phone and text me, like, I got in a car accident. So I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm not even checking on my people type shit.
She sent you a picture of just like,
and I distinctly remember that feeling being like, dude, I suck.
Yeah.
But
no, I mean, because even that time, like, because it was June of 12. In April of 12, my dad passed away from pancreatic cancer. So, like, that 3 months was just
already
wild.
Yeah.
So, but even then, I'm like, I didn't feel any of this during those times, which I see as, like, a bigger deal
than, like,
what I experienced at work.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, how is it that it's something that is hitting me now? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, I've already gone through, you know, if you want, quote-unquote, traumatic events, but I'm like, and then it just hit me now.
There was never a catalyst before, and now it's like, where does this come from?
Right.
I think the reason I asked that is like going back to what I said. There's probably people out there that are in the same boat, and they're like, I haven't gone through anything. There's nothing really happening that makes me anxious. Like sometimes it's the physical onset.
I'm convinced there's some sort of like switch when we hit like our 20s.
Think so?
I'm convinced because like when I started feeling like anxiety and like just feeling like very down was like when I was like 22, 22, 21. But like, this is like right when I get off the Waka tour.
Yeah.
I'm coming back to college and I can't find a place to live because I'm just like coming back so late. And I just remember like I had to ask like my best friend at the time. I had to be like, hey man, can I stay with you? I know you guys have like 3 rooms or whatever. Can I stay with you guys?
Yeah.
But the 3rd room is their laundry room.
Oh.
So it's like my bedroom's a laundry room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, like, being a 22-year-old and you're sleeping in a laundry room and you're trying to bring girls back in college.
Hold on, let me move the washroom.
And or guys bring them downstairs and they see a big laundry room, and I'm like, all right, well,
it's efficient.
I'm sad. You don't say like I'm sad.
Yeah,
like, I just felt like I'm sad. But like, it just started to pile on when like I started to get a job and like, shit like that. But like, I never felt that before.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. It's hard because. So I was going to talk about this right now, but I work in the mental health space. I work in sales, but I work in right now in the major depression space, and I work in the bipolar depression space. And a lot of it goes back to, like you were saying, like the onset and when it happens. A lot of it's anatomical, or it's in your body, how your body works, how it produces different neurotransmitters and things that's happening that there might be a deficiency of or lack of. So for anyone listening, that the reason I keep harping on this is because you never know when somebody's going to feel this way, or they're wondering the same questions, or like, is it because I'm 20 now, or I'm getting older? Some things are just things that happen biologically that you can't control, and there's obviously medications and things that could supplement those deficiencies, but there's a lot of factors. There's socioeconomical factors.
I will also say, as you talk about like things that can like help you with that, I will say the thing, I don't know if you remember what got you out of it, but like the thing that got me out of it was just like the certain people around me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like someone I credit a lot for like bringing me out the depths of it is like my stylist now. Her name's Anna.
Yeah.
But she was my old best friend's girlfriend at the time. And like so laundry room story continued. I was sleeping on the couch because I didn't want to sleep in the laundry room. And just imagine being in college, sleeping on the couch and just having like all your friends come over, you're still sleeping and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're just like,
and I just remember like she would like come in there, just sit next to me and just be like, "Yep, what are we doing today?" Just sit on the couch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is where I sleep. But like, she's like sitting there like, "Oh yeah, like, what are we doing today?" Like nothing
doesn't phase her.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's awesome.
I don't know if you remember like anybody that was like around in that time when you were like trying to like figure out anxiety and stuff. Like,
I mean, definitely Tara, because that was when we started. That was in the beginning when we started dating. Actually, it was like right in the beginning because we were maybe together 4 months before like COVID actually shut everything down.
Oh,
so then even in
COVID. So you were only 4 months deep.
Yeah, and here we are 4 years later.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Well, we also spent a lot of time together.
Yeah, good for you guys.
Shout out to Tara.
We love couples. We love around here.
Couples. Let's get
But no, because even, and I don't know, I can ask her later if she wants to edit this out or if she cares that I'm sharing this, but when I'm explaining to her like what I feel about anxiety, she's like, I've felt that constantly since I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
So like when you were talking about a switch, I think some people, just depending on childhoods, upbringings, traumas, things like that, I think that just might be a baseline almost. And not saying that that's her every day just up here, but she's like, yeah, it kind of happens and it comes and goes, and you know, I've just learned to deal with it. I'm like, what? Like in the beginning, I'm like, you learned to deal with this? I'm like, does it ever get better?
Why are we dealing with this?
Tell me, how does this get better?
I think that's a big piece. And I'm going to shout this out again. For just the field I work in, and I want anyone listening that is feeling this way or maybe has felt this way before, if you don't feel like yourself, talk to someone or try to figure it out in some way possible, because in my field, there's a lot of people affected by mental health and mental illness that get to a point, like you're saying, and not that Tara's dealing with this, but where they're just like, this is my new normal. And it doesn't have to be that way. Not that and I don't want to promise anyone's going to get that relief that they're looking for, but I think a lot of people give up and they think that this is just how I am, this is what it's going to be, and they just keep going through that. And there's a lot of different resources out there that who knows what normal really is, but if you knew what it was, like you said, there's a baseline before. It doesn't have to be every day that way.
Right. And I think too, at least for me, it was because then I started going to therapy. So a lot of that for me was having to actually be vulnerable, and how we talked before we started recording, but like having to actually sit in your feelings and like and process them and deal with them, and even though it's super uncomfortable and sometimes it sucks, but it's no, there's stuff that I've
wait. So deal with. Before we get deep into that, I want you to hold that about how you process those feelings and how you work through it. Sure. Let's highlight Limitless Momentum.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your brand. And now that we know that anxiety was.
Let's get into
it. We know that anxiety was a big catalyst into how you wanted to kind of shine light on mental illness and mental health. And do something, I guess, for you that means something, and how we can bring awareness to it through a facet or an outlet that you care about, which obviously is clothing.
For sure. No, I think for me, I was like, with my career, there's a lot of suicides, a lot of mental health that's not addressed. And so I was like, why not do a clothing brand? Why not try something and see what happens? So a lot of it for me was just different. It's a lot of, I don't want to say basic slogans, but nothing crazy. Like even like the I'm fine one. Like I'm a crier. I'm a crier. So, or like when you're already upset and then someone's like, are you okay? And you're like, and you're trying
I was. Get me started on that.
And you're like,
I'm not.
You're like, I'm fine. Man. Just don't bring attention to it. It's all good.
When they double tap you, they're like, are you sure?
You good? I'm like,
yes. You double down to my uncomfort.
You're
Please
making
just leave me alone. Yes.
I was all right.
But with
did you have any other ideas before? Was it always clothing brand?
I feel like I had different just ideas that I want to do, not specifically with mental health, but I was like, maybe I want to do some kind of side hustle. But no, the brand, I was like, well, luckily Tara can draw, because my stick figures don't even look like stick figures.
She drew these?
So this one actually I had done up, but yeah, she'll do it on Procreate. So like if I'm like, hey, this is kind of a design. I've taken some other stuff just from
Hey, everybody, get you a Tara.
That's so like, get you a Tara.
So like dude, shout out to Tara.
Go for
shout
it.
out to
That's
Tara.
fire.
A queen.
So like this one, I was like, I want something with like a skeleton, but I was like, because it's get out of your head, and I'm like, I don't want to make it seem like someone's blowing their brains out, but like, you know what I mean? But like the top of the skeleton's open and they're holding their brain. So it's like you're almost giving your brain a break.
That's fire.
That's awesome.
And then even like the you're not finished. Like again, it's a little more dark, but there's different brands that have all these bright colors and all this stuff. And I'm like, there's nothing bright about this
Nothing
shit.
pretty about it.
At all.
The color scheme is great. Yeah.
And so this maroon one that you're not finished, like on the headstone.
Yeah, I might need that.
With the little American traditional.
Yeah,
he's like, I got all of them. Manny's got to keep looking forward when I
can.
You finna have a booth at one of the shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
I'll do it.
No,
I'll do it.
That also just proves, like I said, like I support anyone. Like I said, for the homies, people, if you throw this stuff in, we'll support you. Like I would much rather spend my money where it matters than just filling it into
so my thing is with this is more like I have an opportunity to host shows and like headline shows and stuff, and everybody's always asking like, what's your merch, blah, blah, blah. I don't really have merch. My name's my stage name's Love Teddy.
Yeah.
I'm a goofy drama kid. I struggle with depression. I struggle with anxiety. I struggle with love and expressing my feelings, right? If someone wants to come and have a booth and they want to like promote their own stuff, I've never been the sought out kid. I've never been the, oh, he's going to make it, or like, yeah, he's good at rap. Never been that kid.
Yeah.
I know there's other kids that's been misfits, but they're also excelling at what they're doing. I want you to be at my shows. I want you to like feel like you're part of it. So you know what I'm saying? Like if you want to have a booth at one of these shows, come on.
Pull up.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Let's get it.
So back to the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you started
March of 22.
It
turns 2 on Tuesday.
Awesome. We're back.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, shawty.
Where do you even begin with, like, you don't have to tell specific sites or anything, but like, now I have ideas, I have logos. Where do you start with like product?
So I'm assuming these are all like thoughts that you've thought before.
Probably thought or felt.
Okay.
Thought, felt, slogan, or just different slogans that I've even heard somewhere else. A lot of them too. I mean, not saying like music lyrics, and I'm like, okay, I could interpret this. I interpret it this way.
Yeah.
You know? But no, just like, even like this one with the crying skull, like, what do you say when someone's like not bothering you, but like when you're upset and you're like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know? So that was definitely, this is probably the most personal one.
I love that one.
You know, I do too.
One.
Oh yeah. I didn't know how much it was in there.
Yeah, that's hard.
This was a pre-order, but everyone's like, when are these ones coming back? So I may just have to keep them.
Yeah, you might have to bring them.
I locked in. As soon as she dropped it, said pre-order, said, I need to lock in.
Those are hard.
And I love it. And they're great material. I have one on too.
You do.
It's
you
the
got,
one behind you.
Keep
looking forward.
Keep looking forward one.
Look at you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and this one. Hold on. Let me let me stand up.
Show off swag real quick.
The check on your people one.
Do you want to move forward?
And then squat a little bit.
Like, squat.
Oh, perfect, right there.
I feel like I'm at a bodybuilding show. But yeah,
Do it.
Like the check.
Pose. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, show my lats.
Yeah.
But the check on your people one. The other one I didn't bring was one that I think you or Rachel's got this one where it's like you good.
Yeah,
it just
she has
says you good.
the white and red one.
Mm-hmm. It just says you good on the front.
What?
And yeah, so that's why I put this one at the bottom. It's like 1-800 you good. Because it is. It's the skeleton sitting on the phone.
I'm
like,
gonna need that.
As if I'm calling Manny to be like, hey, how you doing? Just checking in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need that.
I got you.
Okay, bet.
So another thing, and you can build on this. I won't take your shine away, but a big thing that she's starting up with Limitless Momentum and her brand is you're doing a podcast now as well.
Yeah.
And so I've been checking in. You drop on Mondays, correct?
This is technically
usually like
a
every other
crossover
Monday.
episode.
Yeah,
It is.
technically a
'Cause
crossover.
I told Manny, I was like, you guys got to come on mine now,
Yeah,
too.
Yeah,
We'd
this
love
is
to.
technically our first crossover episode. Yeah,
We're
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, we're back.
But you highlighted on I think episode 2, maybe 1, about the impact your brand has made. And maybe it's not a global impact, but just for people or you wearing your merchandise out in public and what it does. Things, simple slogans.
Motion is motion.
Yeah, motion is motion, but simple slogans. Like you said, we're trying to highlight this and bring awareness to it and what this can do for someone out in the community.
Yeah, because even I was at the store the other day and I didn't bring that one. I got a few designs, but I was like, I can only grab so many.
Hey, plug the website.
Yeah. LimitlessMomentum.us.
Yeah.
There you go. Go check it out.
So if it's not here and you can't see it on the video,
That means it's not, it doesn't mean it's not there.
that doesn't mean it's not there. Just because she didn't bring it doesn't mean you can't see it. So, all right, go ahead.
It's not there.
No, you're good. But I had the show the fuck up one on.
Yeah, I love.
So
That's my
basically, it
favorite.
says "show the fuck up" on
Okay.
the back of it.
Okay.
And this guy like stops me as I'm grabbing my cart. He's like, "Where'd you get that hoodie?" And I was like, "Damn!" Like, it came out of nowhere. But I was like, "It's my
Damn, Debo.
Please don't snatch me.
I was like, "It's my brand. It's my brand." And he's like, "Do you have a card?" And I was like, "I just took my last one out of my wallet." But he's like, "Here, just put it in my phone." I was like, "Here you go." You know,
Back away, sir.
But
Strong ass arms.
he's like, "What materials do you see?"
Well,
That's my collar, sir.
It was cotton.
It just rips. Oh man! But even stuff like that, or people who have worn it have come and told me they're like, "Yeah, I was out at the bar and someone's like, I need to go call my mom." Like they had like the "get out of your head" hoodie, like because it's just something subtle. It's not. It's thought provoking.
Exactly.
And that's what I like about it. Because it's not like someone has to come up to me. I'll tell you, when I wear the "You Good" one though, people be like, "You good?" And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this person is. And I'm like, oh, it's my shirt.
Yeah. Like, why do you keep asking?
Why is this complete stranger asking me if I'm good?
Why do people do that shit? Well, that was funny.
Yes, I
Are
am. You're
you?
not funny.
Yeah.
Tight.
But yeah, no, it's just different stuff that I felt like universally, certain things, maybe not so much the "show the fuck up" one for everybody, but like the "You Good," the "keep
No, my
looking
dad
forward."
told me that at basketball practice a couple times.
What, "show the fuck up"?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Is like,
Yeah.
you never know what someone needs that push and that motivation, or just even if that just means getting out of bed that day or doing that little task that they keep putting off.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to highlight? I know you gave out the website. Do you want to shout the Instagram?
Instagram, same thing, limitlessmomentum.us. Same thing on Facebook as well. The only thing too, just like, oh my God, I'm gonna fuck it up. It was buff it out.
It'll buff.
It'll buff.
It'll buff.
It'll close.
It's new
It'll
for,
buff.
It's new for me too. You're good.
Yeah, I was like, it'll buff.
It'll buff.
We donate 10% of our proceeds to a different mental health organization every month.
Okay.
Yeah, so like this
amazing.
month actually for March, it's this organization called Sound Mind. So theirs is all focused through like live music and how music
Sick.
can heal.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
That's
they're a
amazing.
nonprofit.
That's
yeah,
super dope.
How do you find these organizations, or where are you going to go next?
the Google machine. Or I'll actually look
Googles.
up, like, how there's a different awareness month or whatever every month.
Yeah.
The Google. But,
what is March?
Jujules.
Yeah.
no, but March I learned is self-injury awareness month.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
That's big too.
So, see? The Google
Yeah.
tells me all the things. So I do try to
Gotcha.
find something if there's something mental health related every month, or like, you got PTSD awareness month, certain, eating disorder business,
Not to take
month,
this
whatever.
off topic. Do you ever just like go on Google one day and like just like it's randomly like left shoe day?
Yes.
Pancake.
Okay.
National Pancake Day.
Or like looking at whatever the design is for Google that day, and you try to guess what it is before you like hover over it for it to tell you what it is. And I'm like, I don't even know what this is.
Subman. Nope, that's George Foreman.
That's big hair. Damn, bro.
Holy.
You just said that.
Holy.
That's Big George. God damn. Awesome. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
No, I appreciate everyone who's supported so far, where it can go, you know, and just like how you guys, like you were talking about, like my podcast, it's just having people on that I know, people on, because like we can have discussions like this and intimate conversations, and you know, get as real and vulnerable as you want to, and you know, I think that also speak volumes for other people, because if they're, you know, like you said, it's a, you know, a safe place, or if they feel like they can't talk about their feelings or not ready to talk about their feelings, that there's people out there that struggle with that too, but you know, there is still progress and process to be made. So
I do think the biggest thing about like our podcast is like people are seeing us do things that like they've always wanted to like either do or like talk about, anything like that. And I think the more that we do this and like speak on things like this or like things like music or anything like that, people are going to get more comfortable being themselves, because we live in an era where no one wants to be themselves.
Yeah.
It's I think it's very weird, but maybe that's just me.
No, I think a lot of it's social media. You're seeing a lot of things that, facades, things that look like they're one thing, but you don't know what's actually going on. And I think it pollutes, I guess, the realm of things.
That's the thing. Like, the other thing is, I do want to make a point of, the internet's not fucking real.
It's not real.
Nope.
Not at all. Not real.
Not at all.
Even, it comes to our podcast. We post the funniest parts of the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
It's not real.
To hopefully draw attention to it, but like,
I may look like the swaggiest rapper in the world, but I'm so sad. Like, I'm
Aren't
being
we all?
serious. Like that.
That's why we're here today, right?
I'm just being
honest. Aren't we all depressed? So that's why we're all here.
The thing is, we're finally opening up and talking about it and having a live conversation and
dialogue. To anybody out there, it's okay to feel that way, and it's okay to be you.
What does it say?
Is that what it says?
It's okay not to be okay.
It's okay to not be okay.
Might just show up bracelet too.
It's okay to feel that way, dog. Like, it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to like be you. Like, I am a drama geek, bro. Like, I'm a drama geek that raps. It's okay. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. A lot of people don't want to be that. It's
you know what's funny about that drama stuff is how many people are going to get up on stage and act out something?
A very small percentage.
Audience of people. How many people are going to dress? That's what I'm saying. How many people are going to do that? But they'll be the first person to be like, "That's lame. That's cool. You were at home that night. I was out there performing."
What?
But that's enough. I think.
Are you kidding me?
I think also like my escape from like the whole like, anxiety and like depression was me pretending I was someone else.
Yeah.
So I think like me like doing like theater and like doing these roles, like I pretend to be someone else for a little bit.
It's like a little escape.
You know what I'm saying?
Also, you like to do that. I like to game. I like to play basketball. What's the difference? You're doing the one thing that makes you feel alive or feel something.
Yeah.
There's no difference. It's just how you view what I'm doing.
I never got those stereotypes in high school. Like, why was that uncool?
Well, you realize like me. I talk to everybody.
Yeah, it's what it is they feel that someone else. It's not cool if they feel it because someone else, an outside factor, is going to think negatively about that, and they're like, "Well, I don't want to be in that." So or like, "I don't want you to think I'm lame." So I'm just going to feel how you feel.
But the craziest thing is everything that we thought were lame in high school, everybody wants to do now. Like,
doesn't everybody want to be actor?
Clothing.
Everyone wants to be big. Everyone wants to go viral.
Everyone wants to be in Hollywood. Everyone wants to be viral. Yeah, everyone wants to be viral.
That's so crazy now.
What is that? That's performing on a stage.
Yeah,
nuts.
For the validation
putting
of
yourself
others.
out there, doing stuff someone else isn't doing.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
It's the same thing.
And that's the other thing too. You know, we'll give a Erica quote here.
Yeah.
Shout out
Dude,
Erica,
she's
my
the
mom.
coolest mom ever. She's from Wisconsin.
But
Wisconsin have to do with it.
You can hear it in her dialect. She's a Wisconsin accent.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. It's like Chicago. It's almost like Chicago and Minnesota at the same time.
Shout out T-Pain.
Wisconsin.
Oh, don't you know? Don't you know?
Oh, gee.
Oh, gee. Oh. What?
T-Pain made up a whole state to ride with
Wisconsin. But she's like, you already have no.
Yeah. What's left?
You already have no. So why not try? Like, sure.
Damn it, Mom. Why do you got to be right?
I don't really want to be rejected, but I also don't want rejection if it's still a no. But
Mom, if this fails, I blame you.
You told me to do the things and it didn't work, so it was your fault.
I already have no, and I got no again. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
No, but that I
feel worse.
That's
damn it, Mom.
But look how much that stuck with you, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
So it is. It's like you don't know until you try.
That's why we're on the pod right now.
Yeah, and that's why I started this, because you never know where shit's gonna go. And I think even touching on like the social media aspect of it, like everyone thinks that I'm gonna post this one post that I think is great, and it gets 6 likes, you know, or everyone thinking they're about to go viral because they think their shit's hot.
Yeah. I'm so happy they added the hide likes, because that helped my mental health so much.
Yeah.
See, I don't even fucking care. I'll be like, you can see 6 people like.
Well, the other thing is,
I don't know why.
If I post something that means this much to me, I get 6 likes out of it. That doesn't change how much that meant to me.
No,
you know what I'm saying. Like, you shouldn't be not that you shouldn't, but like, do things that make you happy or validate whatever you need it to validate. And like, if you get 6 likes out of it, like you said, you always said no. At least you did it.
Right.
Yeah, you put it out there, and you don't know who of one of those 6. And you don't know who of one of those 6 it could have helped them. It could have. It could have been a possible networking thing. Like, you don't know what it could turn into.
Clothing brand, and
I think
it's
the next more for me. Like, when you're in that industry, like the music industry is very much about like, oh damn, he's got 5,000 likes. He's got. I think it was more for me like, now don't get it wrong, my shit's still cracking. Don't get it wrong, we still cracking.
Unhide those likes.
Now it's like, I think it was just like my brain was like, damn, you're not doing 24,000 though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it was more
is
like
the thief of joy.
And I think now that the high likes, it's more like I'm not worrying about that number. I'm just posting what I want to post. You know what I'm saying? So
I've never, not that I'm not on social media. Like, I'm definitely on there, but I've never.
You're on there now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is, like,
you're on there now.
I've never had like a brand or something that I'm promoting to where it's like, I post this because it's either like me highlighting me and my relationship or something stressful. I like.
Right.
But now we're posting content and like, stressful. I'm like, oh, this one's not doing as well as the other one.
He's experiencing.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
So when you post, you just sit there.
I let him post.
I let it sit. Like, I don't sit and be like, okay, like Manny now liked it.
Yeah,
no. like I can't do that.
But our first ever clip. I mean, that thing did numbers. For me,
he was sitting there like, dude,
I was like, whoa, like, refresh,
get off the IG page.
And it's weird. It's like, I literally changed overnight to a different person. I was like, oh, now I have content. How's my content doing? And it was scary. I'm like, it got to a point now where he posts. He doesn't tell me about it. He'll post it.
I can't tell you.
Yeah, and then I get on there. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm like, that's done. Like, and then it goes back to the same thing. I'm posting this. Obviously, I would love people to tune into the podcast, but this is something that I'm doing to get out of my comfort zone and create some form of, for me, it's art or just a project that I like. And I'm not coming here anymore to make a clip that is going to go viral. I'm coming here because I want to invest in this because this is my hobby now.
Yeah.
But like something that's mine that I like and I want to give my all to. So it's like, if this never got a view, I'm so happy that we got together today to do this. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Aristotle, Manny.
Also, I hope this helps a lot of people.
Yeah, because like you said, even stepping outside your comfort zone, like even if this, stays at where it's at now, or if it grows, like you never know.
You never know.
You know what I'm saying?
You grew as a person.
Yeah,
that too.
And we're all growing, and it goes back to what you're saying. Like,
JB still doesn't have a mic.
We'll get him one. It's not rainbows and butterflies.
He got a chair, but he ain't got a mic.
Hey, we got a tripod.
Next episode.
We got a tripod now.
Next episode, he might get a mic.
I guess my last thing I want to touch on with Limitless Momentum is do you have anything planned for the future? Or if you want to highlight, I know you guys did the ride last year.
Oh, yeah,
If you want to shout that out.
Yeah, for sure. The Ride It Out cruise. So that one we raised funds for Hope for the Day, which is actually based out of Chicago. They're more music kind of heavy too, because I know they've had booths at, I think it was Lala.
Oh, wow.
Summerfest. Because they'll do stuff all over the country.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just because I've got an old ass. Oh, well, I shouldn't even say old ass. It's an 06, but an 06.
I thought you were going to talk about the Mercedes Benz.
No, that's on the list. That's on the vision board to get another one. It is. It's on the vision board.
We'll get to that.
We'll circle back.
Yeah, we got to circle back.
Mercedes. We kind of talked about it earlier, but in a negative way.
That car got totaled. R.I.P.
Okay.
But yeah. So one of my friends, a couple of my coworkers, like ride Harleys. I've got an old Jeep. One of my uncles has a Corvette, so they got the whole like Corvette club people. So I was like, why don't we just put kind of like a cruise together? So we just met up at a local spot in Yorkville, drove down to this kind of basically biker bar, like down south in Utica.
In Utica?
In Utica.
Awesome.
And we just hung out Like, but it was nice because all the registration fees, like everything went to Hope for the Day. And I think it's like $1,100 or $1,200 we were able to donate.
For the first year?
Mm-hmm. So I'm already, it's funny because I actually thought of this today. I'm like, I already got to start planning because there were some kinks and stuff that I want to work out from last year.
When was it last year?
September 10th. So September is Suicide Awareness Month. So we'll do it in September again. But I'm obviously trying to do it between like Labor Day and then before it gets cold as fuck. So.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be like the second weekend of September.
Awesome. Anything else that you guys are planning or?
Not really. Just trying to
planning on be at the next
some more designs and stuff. But no, just trying to find other, like how Teddy was saying, either other shows or venues and stuff. Because you know how I was telling you about that Not a Phase Fest. Weren't we talking about that? It's in Milwaukee.
What?
Yes. Is that red jumpsuit?
I got to run up on somebody?
Red jumpsuit.
Not a phase.
Oh. I thought you said not a phase.
I was like, what are you talking about? No, not a phase.
No, like
not
emo.
A phase.
No, emo. It was never a phase, Mom.
Yeah, not a phase.
Like excuse me, they have different like options to be a vendor. So
like,
ooh. So I was like looking into something like that, or you know, again, that's huge, but something that if I don't put in for it, I already have no. So why not? And then have a little booth there. Shout out Erica.
Shout out Erica.
But,
awesome. Well, I hope you take that step because you never know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
Yeah.
Look, she's gonna be at my show.
Yeah. You should be our first
gonna
booth.
be there.
Let me know.
So we gonna hook it up
when we get that going.
Fire.
Like we said in the past, he's got an album that's gonna drop. You said April.
Ooh, April what?
April-ish.
I thought you had a date. I was like, April's a very good month.
I have a date, but I don't want to get in trouble by it, man.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm just giving you guys.
Fair enough.
Sorry if I put you on the spot. We're just giving general.
People are going to get mad
information.
So I've been saying March, so I just said April. So a lot of people are going to get mad that I just said April.
It's fine. Y'all can be mad.
I mean, they're going to know when she didn't drop something in April. Or March.
We in March. It's not here.
The most annoying thing about being a local artist is that just like the local people are just like, when's it dropping? And I'm like,
when I gave it to you.
Relax. Like, let's figure it out
Chill.
first. Yeah. I got things to do.
I got
bills to pay.
Yeah, right?
Jeez.
You going to pay for this drop?
Yeah, right?
God damn. So now that we got to highlight Limitless Momentum in depth, I think I wanted to go back to what we were talking about, personal mental health journeys. And a big thing I wanted to kind of hit on before we get into this is, one, we're not professionals. And building off that, we are just trying to bring awareness to these situations. And if it resonates with you, awesome. But we are just trying to be a safe space, open up the dialogue. Whatever we say, please don't take it to heart and say, well, they said this on this podcast and this is what it's got to be and this is how I treat this or get better for something. And two, I really want to bring awareness to the fact that when the word mental health and mental illness comes up, the definition of mental illness is anything that affects your thinking, your behavior, or your mood. So I know a lot of times people's mind goes straight to either somebody's crazy or somebody that's down in the dumps and depressed and they can't get out of bed and they want to, as harsh as it sounds, kill themselves. But it can be anything as simple, not simple, but as broad as OCD or PTSD or depression, bipolar depression. There's a lot that encompasses the word mental illness. And it's not just people on the far spectrums or people that are ready to leave this earth. So, I want to say that too, because if anybody's listening and they're like, well, I don't have anxiety, but I don't have this, but they might be dealing with, like I said, PTSD, OCD, ADHD, ADD, things that affect their daily lives. This is about you as well. So,
yeah, I do want to say like, depression and anxiety isn't just like, oh, I want to like off myself.
Yeah.
Depression can really just be you're just having a horrible day.
Yeah.
And you do not want to talk to anybody.
Yeah. And then, like I said, I work in the depression space and I work solely around major depressive disorder, which is long-term, long-lasting, repetitive, recurrent depression. There's seasonal depression. There's depression that only lasts 2 weeks.
Seasonal depression sucks.
Yeah, and the thing is seasonal depression, just in the definition of that,
finally,
it only comes around for certain people when the days get shorter and the nights get longer, or
why are we still doing that?
What's that?
Daylight savings.
Daylight savings.
Yeah, that's a different story. I don't know about that. Or people around certain times of year where they've lost a significant other, or they have to be around family and maybe it's not the best thing for them. I just really want to highlight the fact that mental illness is a broad spectrum, and it encompasses a lot of people that aren't just your, I guess, stereotypical.
Yeah, like
depressed,
anxious.
Yeah, we're not saying
schizophrenic.
It's stereotypical.
Yeah, not stereotypical.
When most people hear depression, they think
you're not schizophrenic or bipolar or depressed. Like, there's a lot.
Let's dive in.
Let's dive in. So I know you were talking about when you first felt anxious. I don't know if you want to build off of. You said it took you about anywhere between 3 to 6 months before you took that step. And
yeah.
What was that first step? What did you do?
Therapy.
It was therapy first.
Yeah.
And how did you find your therapist? I guess I could say.
She was a referral from somebody else.
Okay.
And I'd actually seen her maybe like once or twice a couple years earlier. And I'm like, all right, like I've done it. You know, I didn't feel a need to go back between that time that I had first gone to see her and then. But I was like, yeah, it's time. I was like, I gotta go. And then, I go every other week, and I have been for about the past 3 years.
Good for you.
Pretty frequent for you then.
Yeah, twice a month. But
good for you.
And then if I ever have to feel like, hey, like this has happened, I feel like I need to bump it up to once a week, or hey, maybe we can do it once a month. You know, just kind of depending what's going on. Yeah. But yeah, like now, and I think that's just more the routine now. It's just every other Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And for your journey, has it been just therapy, and you don't have to say specifics on like if it's past that or like specific medications or anything?
Like I tried an antidepressant.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people say it's like trial and error, like it doesn't build up in your system until it's 6 weeks. And I'm like, I felt like shit for 4 days. How am I gonna want to keep doing this thing for 6 weeks?
I can highlight that in a little bit, but go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I tried that for maybe a week and a half, and I was like, I already didn't feel like myself. I'm like, but I really don't feel like myself on this. And so I stopped taking it.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah. And I haven't been back on one since. I think a lot of it for me, not even taking like a holistic standpoint, but finding what worked for me like in the moment when I felt like, you know, just super high anxiety. So for me, it is journaling. It's journaling how I feel, because sometimes I don't want to talk about like talking to Tara or talking to whoever, but like actually getting down my thoughts, and then I'll read it.
Yeah.
And then that's almost a way to process it. Yeah. And like let it sink, because I don't know, like then reading it makes me think, why am I feeling this way? Or because everyone's like, it came out of nowhere. Usually there's a little bit of a root hanging in there. Yeah.
A little something.
Yeah. Or, you know, as granola this may sound, but like I'll go in our backyard barefoot and stay and like walk around our backyard in the grass. It's the grounding is super.
I told my girl,
there's natural energy in the world.
Absolutely, 100%.
Where you just lay on your back and just
floor time.
Floor time.
I love that.
Floor time. I do. I'll sit on the floor, or like if I need to think, like in my office, I'll just like, all right, I'm thinking about my day or thinking about whatever, and I'm like, I'll lay on the floor. I don't care.
The thing about things like vitamin D and stuff, like those are natural vitamins, minerals, and things you can get from the environment. Just walking outside, being in the sun, that like, we know that you get vitamin D or whatever, but like your body's ingesting that. Like you said, touching the natural ground, being in the sun, being outside. Like there's things that you can do that society doesn't really tell you about, and it doesn't have to be therapy.
Yeah.
Like you said, your therapy for yourself at a normal basis every day is journaling. You're just talking with yourself. You're having that time for yourself where you're working through it yourself. Like something as simple as that can be so huge and like make a huge improvement. Or just like you said, walking barefoot. Like
or even if it's something bigger, like I'll tell Tara and be like, I'm feeling like this, and she's like, what do you have going on? And I'm like, this, and I'll just list like 6 things that are making me stressed, and she's like, all right, well, we found the cause.
Exactly.
But I think that, or the other big thing for me that would freak me out more is that feeling disassociated.
Yeah.
I had never felt like that. Like, Teddy just made a face, but it's almost like...
I'm trying to figure out...
No, so I was going to say, so almost sometimes, like, I feel like my hands... Like,
you could see them?
I don't have... I have control of my hands, but I don't. Like, my hands aren't my hands. And I don't know how to, like, better explain that.
I think a good way... I think a good way... And this is a little off topic.
No.
You ever been driving, and you're, like, having that mental break, and then you realize you're driving again? That second between
autopilot,
the second between the thought you were having into where you're driving in, you kind of see everything. You see the car moving, and you see your hands on the wheel, but you're not really operating it. And then you come back and you're like, oh, wow, I've been driving this car. And you're back in that moment. You're like, oh, that was autopilot?
Yeah.
It's like that moment in between where you're like seeing everything. And you're like, oh shit, this guy's driving this car and I'm this guy.
Right.
Autopilot's crazy because you'll end up at your best friend's house and you'll be like, damn, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like your commute home and you're like, oh, I'm already home. Yeah. But it's something like, even for example, like if I felt and I would only really feel disassociated. It's maybe only been like 3 times where I was like, holy shit, like, this is weird. But it would be something like this liquid death can. Like,
so you're basically like in it while you're disassociated.
It's like an out of body experience.
That's crazy.
Kind of.
But you're not like looking at yourself.
No. But it's like, if I were to like look at my hands and I'm like, I know these are my hands.
Yeah.
But I have control over these hands, but they don't feel like my hands.
You don't
like, that's the best way I can describe it. It's like you're like looking at them, but this is not me anymore. And it's almost like,
I can see it, but it's not me.
I've seen people be like, I had to like pinch myself to make like seem like I'm feeling something, or like I said, like if I
there's dissociative disorders,
like holding this, I know it's cold. Yeah. So then I can I feel like, all right, this liquid death can is cold, or
I'm bad,
or like if I was gonna walk outside on the ground, all right, I can feel the ground on my feet, like I'm literally grounded, I'm on the ground.
So how do you like, so when you feel disassociated, how do you like snap out of it, or like how do you like control it? I guess
a lot of it. I mean, again, that feeling has only happened to me a handful of times.
Okay.
But
there's people that there's
like constantly
there's dissociative disorders. There's people that have multiple personality disorders, and that's another form of dissociation. Is your brain takes you? It's so powerful. It takes you to a place where you're not there anymore, and your body's reacting.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't even know why. Like your brain does it, or what the reason for, or how it happens. For like
for some people, it's trauma.
Yeah.
There's a great show out there. I can't think of the name now, but it's with Tom Holland from Spider-Man. And it's about him. He has a dissociative disorder where he has split personality or multiple personality disorder. And it shows, you watch the show and you're like, oh my God. And then you figure out that what's going on. Sorry if I just ruined it. But it really highlights someone that has this disorder where there's a lot going on and they have no idea, and then every once in a while they come back into themselves and they're normal selves, and then they go somewhere else and they're a whole different person. They have no idea what's going on.
And the times I have dissociated, it's been like a heightened, like, I don't want to say I'm having an anxiety attack, but it's like super high anxiety where I'm like, I felt like this like all day, like, and it's not going away, because I'll try to just like feel it, because I'm like, I know this is gonna end, it's super uncomfortable, I'm fine, I'm here, like, it's never anything that's like intrusive thought wise, but it's just like, I know, like, I'm here, like,
I don't think I've ever had intrusive thoughts. I think the way to piggyback off of what you were saying, I was saying like when I asked you like how did you control it, it's just because how I see like depression and stuff. If you,
and we can segue into your story.
As a visualizer, I kind of see it as like venom. Like Spider-Man's venom. You know, it's like a symbiote just like latched on top of you and you're just like talking to you.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can like, if you learn to live with it and you're just like, oh, today, like, he's saying this to me, but I'm gonna be like, shut the fuck up and we're gonna deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like kind of like acknowledging that it's there. Cause before I used to be like, I'm in it. I'm in it right now. And I don't want to talk to anybody, but like, I think it just takes time as you get older where it's just like, all right, this is who I am. This is what's coming along with me. I kind of got to like grab this by the horns and just make it like my own.
Or just having different coping mechanisms.
And I think it goes back to what I was saying is like, if you're noticing that and feeling that where it's like, I just got to grab it by the horns and figure it out. Some people that works. Some people can.
Sometimes it does,
sometimes it doesn't. Some people can journal. Some people can ground themselves outside. But for the people that it doesn't, simply talking to anyone, and it doesn't have to be therapy. It could just be talking out loud, talking to anyone, journaling, things like that. Like I said, like you said, it's okay to not feel okay, and it's okay to realize that this isn't normal. But I really hope that people realize that, especially if you knew what normal was before, that you don't have to just sit there and accept this as your new normal.
Yeah.
And that goes for everything. If you have migraines, if you have, I don't know, eating disorders and things like that, like, it doesn't have to be this looming darkness or the shadow that you can't shake, the monkey on your back. Like, even if that's a step forward and a little bit more of normalcy for you, you don't have to accept things as your new normal if you can try to work through them, or at least speak up. And you owe it to yourself, pretty much what I'm getting at, to try to achieve a sense of normalcy.
Mm-hmm.
No, I absolutely agree. Because like you said, it's like, if, like for me, I was like, this isn't my normal. And I liked my normal.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I just feel uncomfortable all the time. I'm like, how do I get myself back to that?
Yeah.
And it might be something where I deal with this on and off for the rest of my life. Who knows? Or it could be something where...
And that's okay. Yeah. And that's pretty normal for people too.
But knowing what works for me and can bring you back to center or whatever it is, then that's great. Because then if I was just like, I'm in this deep pit of despair and it's never going to get better and I'm not going to do things to help myself, I think that's where some people get stuck.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not downplaying depression, anxiety, because people have it way worse than I do.
Yep.
And, but yeah, trying to help yourself or do what you can for yourself. And I think some people are also scared to take that leap. Like you said, they're like, this is my new normal, and I guess I'll just suck it up.
Some people feel like a burden, or that they're going to be a nuisance, and it's much more of a burden without having you here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I think it's more like, not even like a nuisance thing. I just remember like, I like saying that you're sad to your friends.
Yeah, that's a hard thing, especially at what age they're at. Like, if
you're
whatever age it is,
sad, like, it's like,
shut the fuck up.
Like, you don't want to be the odd man out, and they'd be like,
exactly.
What do you mean you're sad? Like,
you
know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be.
The other thing is, if you're listening to this, people at that age and they're young, they can't process those things.
Nope.
They don't think beyond the moment, or what they're just, their brains aren't developed as well. They're just like, why is this kid sad? That makes no sense. Like, is he going to be happy one day? And some people,
and that's not their fault. In college, so
exactly, you're in college,
and
you're
don't
just like,
care that much,
or people are like, oh yeah, I know he's sad, and they don't think much of it. Like, that's why I'm encouraging people. It's like, if you're feeling abnormal for you yourself and what's not normal, there's professionals out there that you're not going to burden them. That's what they chose their life path to be, is to be an outlet for you. So, especially if you're in college, or, I mean, there's apps now where you can just get on. There's hotlines. Like, there's things you can do. You don't have to let your family know about. You don't have to tell people. You're also, like I said, I work in the mental health space, and labels are a big thing. If you go to a medical professional, there's HIPAA. There's things they're not going to go out and shout to the world that you're bipolar or you're suffering from major depressive disorder. You can do a lot of things behind closed doors and no one will ever know about it. That's going to benefit you, and you wouldn't have to tell anybody. But you can get that help that you need. So, yeah, I'm just encourage people to take that step for themselves. Like you said earlier, the old Google machine will get you together. So, like,
for sure,
there's so much you can do on your own, especially with smartphones, that, like, if you're worried about things, especially at colleges, they have counselors, they have all the things you can do that's already on campus, and no one would ever know. No. So,
and I think it is. I think it's just a big, people having to take that big step and take that leap, and it's almost like an acceptance of knowing that, because some people brush it off and be like, this isn't that big of a deal, until it either gets to a bigger head or it's lasted for so long or whatever. Like you said, you can't make someone do something, right? You can't make someone change. You can't, but you always want what's best for people. So that's why, even if they're like, all right, I don't want to go on meds right away, maybe I'll just try talking to somebody, by all means. And therapy too. Like, I was lucky finding mine right away, and I liked her. And I know some people have to kind of shop around and see what they jive with, and they're like, well, I'm not going to jive with anybody, so why am I even trying this?
Exactly.
But
and to build off that, like I said, I work in the mental health space with these products. If you're on a medication and it's not working for you, there's side effects that you're having. Like you said, you were on for 4 days and you felt even worse. I want to highlight the fact that your physicians all went to different schools. They all had different people teaching them different things. They all have habits they built that they became comfortable off of because that's what they learned at one point. And a lot of people, if something's going well or something that you're comfortable with, you're not really going to veer off of that and try something new, because you're not comfortable around that, or you don't have the knowledge around that. So I think the biggest thing I've learned in the industry that I am in is doctors are normal people, and they've created a lot of habits, and they're going to go towards the habits that they've seen the most success on first, and that they're comfortable with and that they're used to. And a lot of the times it doesn't work for a lot of people, but a lot of patients and normal people that are going in and looking at somebody with a white coat on and it says MD on it, you're like, he knows more than I do, and he's the doctor. What he says goes. And I want people to know right now that if you go in for some kind of treatment or therapy and it doesn't work for you, like you said, maybe your therapist isn't the one for you, that doesn't mean there isn't something that is for you. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself and say, Doc, I don't feel like myself. Or the therapist, hey, this was cool, but like we don't really jive. There's a lot of options out there, and I think a normal person would think this is it for me, and then we fall back into that this is my new normal. I'm never going to feel like myself, or I'm going to have to deal with these side effects. Whether that's changing who you're seeing or asking for a different option, I just encourage everybody to speak up, because for our minds, there's a limit, but there's really not limits. There's other options out there. So I guess what I'm harping on is if you still don't feel yourself, just say it, because the number one thing that we hear and we see is
we got a rotation.
Yeah, we do. But the other thing is people just don't know, so they kind of just deal with it again.
Yeah.
But I would just encourage everyone to speak up for themselves, because there's a lot of underreported stuff, and then people just go without saying, and they just kind of deal with it. So yeah.
Yeah, advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
Facts.
You were talking about homies?
I'm saying we could talk about this all day, I feel like, but we also have Rad sitting here.
Yeah. So I do want to highlight the next for the homies.
Yeah.
Do you know how we're doing on time?
It's 9:45.
Okay, cool. So we'll do this next for the homies, and then we'll do for the rotation, and we'll let y'all be. So I apologize, because I was supposed to do this last episode, and then we got talking and I forgot about it. This is one of my homies that I met down in Kentucky. Him and his wife, Joe and Brett Giles. I love these people. They're awesome. They're independent distributors of a product called the Kangen Water Machine. The Kangen Water Machine turns your tap water into alkalized water, which gives your body better hydration. And what they sent in is change your water, change your life. Drink hydrogen-rich water that top athletes and celebrities prefer, like Tom Brady, Steph Curry, Kevin Hart, and many more. Owning a Kangen Water Machine has many health benefits and over 100 different uses. It can also become a source of income. So anyone that purchases has the option of turning this into an entrepreneurship. So you can also become an independent contractor and actually sell these Kangens yourself. It can become a source of income for all health enthusiasts and entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. Purchasing a Kangen Water Machine can literally change your water and change your life physically and financially. So yeah, anyone's out there looking to kind of expand either their health, or even if it's a side hustle or something you want to build on and maybe get your first step in sales or anything like that, reach out to them, because this is a great opportunity. Like I said, even if it's just for the water machine itself to better hydrate your body and be in better physical health, I think it's a great opportunity for everyone. You can follow them, Brett and Joe, at Brett_AJ_Giles on Instagram. And that's at BRETT_AJ_Giles on Instagram. And like I said, we'll put all this information in our episode notes. But yeah, tap in with them, man. That's an awesome opportunity for anyone. And I guess, like we said, we talked a lot about mental health today. Thank you again, Ariana, for being here.
Give it up.
It's been awesome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Give it up.
She's a resource. Whether it's your company or just building off of what you said about anxiety and things like that. If any of us can help you at all or point you in the right direction, we'll definitely do that. Just DM us.
Yes.
Before we get out of here, we want to do our classic For the Rotation.
For the Rotation.
Where we highlight 3 songs that have been in our rotation either last week or recently that mean something to us.
That means something to us or you.
Or you. We'll start with Ariana. What have you been listening to lately?
For the Rotation, guest spot.
My first one is the new MGK, actually.
I've been hearing
Don't
good
Let Me
things
Go.
about that.
So I didn't start listening to MGK until he came out with Rap Devil, when he and Eminem were going back and forth, because I just hadn't really listened to him.
Is that when he hit on his daughter?
Yeah.
Then Eminem smoked his ass?
Yeah, she's hot.
I don't know. I mean, they're both good.
It was good.
They're both good. They're both diss tracks. But yeah, his Don't Let Me Go, because it's a lot of him talking about how he's like, I lost all the people that care about me. Like, he lost his dad and his aunt. You know, I'm trying to do this thing in the music industry, and what I'm trying to explain.
I think it's just a single, right?
This one's a single, yeah.
Album or emo?
This one was more hip hop.
Oh, okay.
Or at least this single was.
Yeah.
You know, talking about you know, his mom left him. He was a little reconciling with her. What was the other one? Really, he's talking about how in the past few albums, like, you guys aren't hearing what I'm saying. You guys are trying to write me off. Like, you're not actually listening to the music.
Yeah. Dude, his last few, like, the emo punk, like, type albums, those have been heaters.
He did well.
Tickets to My Downfall and Mainstream Sellout.
That's
for
what
sure.
it is. Tickets to My Downfall.
Tickets to My Downfall is a favorite.
Bangers on there.
Yep.
He did well.
Jawbreaker.
I cannot hate on that.
Jawbreaker's a banger. Oh, my God.
Oh, let's see. That one's heavy rotation. Manny, this was actually a band I just found them the other day. They're called Judgment. They're out of Canada. But the song is...
Sounds like Canadian.
Sounds like it. Judgment. Out of Canada.
Canadian. But it's Solace and Stillness. It's definitely more like think crabcore.
Oh,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's why.
That
now you're speaking
what was
to
that
me.
again?
Crabcore. You crab walk?
Both of them doing that at the same time. Gold.
Oh, that's amazing.
What's another one? There was another... Actually, no, I like SZA's new one, too, that came out. Saturn.
Ooh, I didn't hear that yet.
Ooh, that one's a good one. Saturn's good.
Jack Harlow just announced that he's in his own festival in Louisville. And
Are you going?
She's a headliner.
Are you going?
I'd love to see her.
Sometime in May, I think.
But yeah, those have been my 3 this week.
That didn't answer my question. Are you going?
Heavy rotation.
I have to look at the dates because I think it's around something I have going on. It literally just came out, but...
Just say no.
Yeah. As of right now.
As of right now, it's a
He's
no.
not lying. As of right now, I'm not.
What's your for the rotation?
Rich told me Quan's on that. My for the rotation.
Ew! Don't talk to me about Rich Homie Quan like he's relevant.
Rich Homie, baby. My first one is shout out my boy Goose, Shane Neal out of Louisville, Kentucky. Love this guy. He's a great guy. And we just joke around all the time. And new song that came out this week. I don't know if it came out this week, but it's trending on TikTok that we've been bumping. Is "Yeah Glow" by Glorilla. Have you heard that?
No, it sounds ratchet though.
It's ratchet as fuck, but it's hard as shit. It's so awesome because obviously she's a female rapper, but it's like straight South rap, Memphis shit.
Did you see?
It's like 3-6 Mafia, but like nowadays.
Oh,
did you see?
Fucking awesome. It's like a really good song. It's not just super ratchet. It's not about like titties and ass and shit like that.
Did you see? She was at the Super Bowl hanging out with Usher. She was like, whose wife is this? Or whose husband is this?
I was trying to get on him. Who's she talking about?
Was it Usher or was it?
No, it wasn't Usher. It was what's his name?
Stop hitting.
Sorry, my fault. The dude from he's on the Bucks now from Portland Trailers.
Oh, dang.
It was Damian
Lillard sitting next to Gloria.
She's like, who is this?
Whose
I want
husband
him.
is this? And whoever it is, we gonna fight. I was like,
she's like, he cute as fuck. I want him. I'm like, that's Damian Lillard. What?
He's going through a divorce. Shut up.
Oh, well, she want him. The next one, and one of the things we wanted to highlight today, we kind of ran out of time because we've been having great conversations. One thing that bonded me and Ariana is music, specifically like pop punk emo.
White dress with the shorts underneath.
Things like that.
I chimed in.
Yeah.
Fire.
Panic at the Disco was the number one, but you came to school, what, 2005, 2006?
06, yeah.
06.
We all went through a punk emo phase.
Right around the time
Still there.
Panic at the Disco's coming out, Fall Out Boy's going crazy, Paramore and all that stuff, and we really bonded over that. But this next one is coming from my big brother, one of my favorite people in the freaking world. I love this guy. He sent in The Summoning by Sleep Token, which is a band that I've heard about, never listened to. Awesome song. It sounds a lot like he said, Deftones and Breaking Benjamin. A lot like the mid or early 2000s, before the 2010s. Like heavy mainstream rock with a lot of like melodic, soft tone singing, but then like a scream here or there, but nothing like crazy. Actually awesome song. Thank you for sending that in. I love you, brother. And my last one is something that, a band that I found when I was, probably around 2007. They're out of Chicago called Medina Lake.
They're still around?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
This is
shit.
the first album they had From Us, Through You, something like that.
Yes. I can picture the album cover now.
Yeah, it's like green and yellow with like a sketch art. Sketch art.
I
Yeah.
have no clue what they're talking about.
The thing is, that's why I highlighted it, because this band, they came out of Chicago and they were making like pop punk emo. just as good as a Fall Out Boy, just as good as a Panic at the Disco, making songs that should have blown up and they never made it anywhere.
Can I guess what song it is?
You can guess. It's not House of Cards.
Is it Here I Stand?
It's not Here I Stand. Damn. It's on the same album. It's called Adalia.
Okay.
It's got that punk feel. A little bit of screaming in it, which they don't have on any of their other songs. But it's awesome. If you like pop punk emo, especially early 2000s rock, this band out of Chicago is amazing. And especially this song, it'll be a song you hear and it's a song you've never heard it before. Or you've heard it before, but you'd never have. What?
Remember that one time I told you to do the pig squeal?
Oh, God. I don't know if I can do it right now.
Can you do it right now? Please? Just one time.
I'm going to try it. It's probably going to sound stupid. Hold on.
Just one time.
All right, so.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
I'm going to try to do this.
Let's get it.
I'm going to try to do this. All right, so just a background.
He likes the pig squeal.
For people that don't know me, I'm a very big emo kid. Screamo music is my favorite music ever.
You would never expect it.
There's different types of screams. There's low growls.
Damn, inward, JV.
Hey, come on, bro. Inward, outwards. Oh, I don't know. This is going to be embarrassing. I can't do this. There's a thing called pig squeal, which is a type of like deathcore, super death metal.
Shut up and do it.
Scream. They're going to be like, what the fuck's he doing?
No, just do it.
It'd be funny if you just it's fucking stupid.
Shut up, do it.
I practiced this for months when I was like 16.
Don't be.
I was like, I've heard it, so this is a treat for you guys.
It's a type of scream, and it sounds like a pig squeal.
You're stalling. Stop being a bitch. Here
we go. I can't. It doesn't sound like it right now. Anyways, there you guys go. I'll do it better on a different episode. I'm so upset because that's terrible. It's a lot better than that on most days. Now I'm upset that I practiced for months. They gave this bullshit ass pig squeal. Anyways, that's what it sounds like.
For the rotation, baby. Yeah. Now it's time to get to the hip hop lovers.
Hey, I threw SZA out there.
Hey, you did throw SZA out there.
She's a little more R&B, but still.
It's not even all hip hop on this thing, so it's okay. First, what we got? We got Surpriser, Lil Dicky.
Lil Dicky.
Okay.
Philly's.
Is that the one with the Young Gravy?
It's not Meek Mill.
No. That one's fire.
He came out with one with Young Gravy, Young Gravy, and I haven't listened to that one.
Yeah, that one's fire though. But
the MILF Hunter.
So he dropped.
That guy's my idol.
He's my idol too.
Holy shit!
So
shout out Young Gravy.
So he dropped his Dave soundtrack, which everybody's been begging him to drop music. He hasn't dropped music in like 5 years. He hasn't dropped music in 5 years. He only has one album. So he drops his Dave soundtrack. It's called Honestly. And it's like
he's a lyricist, bro.
Yeah, he is.
Lil Dicky does not get enough respect. And I'm going to say on this podcast, you are welcome here.
Yeah.
You are
Philly's finest.
You were top 15 lyricist. I'm not going to lie. You were
that guy's insane.
Honestly. It's called Honestly. So listen to that song. It's fire.
Talent.
And then next, it's on SoundCloud. Another person who doesn't get enough credit, Bryson Tiller.
Oh, Louisville's finest. 502, stand up.
He's been doing Tiller Tuesdays where he just drops songs with like crazy samples that can't get cleared. So he just puts it on SoundCloud. And this one's called Guarantee. It's more like Jersey club type beat.
Speaking of that, what's that song that he dropped with Jack Harlow? Before Jack Harlow blew up. Through the Night.
Through the Night was
if you listen to Bryson Tiller, this song should have fucking blew up 5 years ago, but neither of them were, or he was big, but Jack Harlow was
pretty big.
He wasn't at the time. Through the Night. He was
kind of big then. He was kind of big.
It's called
not as big as
he's big
5
years ago?
Yeah, Through the Night, it has the craziest sample ever. What is the sample on that song?
Usher.
I love you. You're my girl.
Yeah, welcome to 4 to Plot Karaoke.
Yeah. So they sample that song. It's one of the craziest songs ever. And since Jack Harlow wasn't big enough, it didn't blow up. So listen to that shit. My fault.
Nah, for sure. Whatever. Just still my rotation.
That song needs love.
And then this is a little for the country fans out there. A little country / posty type vibes. This artist from Nashville called V Wills. It's called Ain't Like You. And we're gonna play a little sample.
Let me hear that.
I don't give.
Do you know this guy?
No, I don't. But I really do want to work with him. He's very dope. But V Wills, Ain't Like You. It's a little bit Post Malone, Kid Laroi vibes.
They gave me a little of just even the beginning.
Morgan too.
It kind of gave me Mike.
No,
like the beginning of that.
He was playing Mike on the way here.
The beginning of that.
Tuffy,
was
that's my
Mike.
dog. Mike is my dog. But yeah, that's my photo rotation.
All right, before we get out of here, last thing I want to highlight especially around this, is that if anyone's struggling with anything, just know that at least if you need anybody, we are here for you.
I'm here, and my music is here for you, truthfully.
Whatever outlet you need, if it's just DMing us just to find what that resource is, please do it.
Find your output. I will say, like, knowing that I struggle with expressing myself or struggle with expressing my feelings, I will say writing music is like where I found myself. I know you said you were journaling, like just find some type of outlet that can like, that you can get your thoughts out. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing is release that tension or whatever you're going through. And lastly, I won't harp on this too much, but if anyone needs it, pick up your phone, dial a 988. That's a suicide and crisis lifeline. So if we can't be that outlet and you feel like there's nothing else left, at least please reach out there. And I definitely know that they'll get you together in some way or some facet. But with that being said, thank you so much, Ariana.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
It's awesome. One of my lifeline friends, and it's amazing that she was here today. But that's it. Episode 3, baby.
You know what it is. Next week, we got some hood rat shit.
Yeah. It's okay to not be okay. We love you guys. It's all for the plot,
It's
baby.
all for the plot, sir.
See y'all.
It's all for the plot.